Madison says you'll need a camera operator. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So it's very simple.
Yeah, just follow the ball.
Side to side, and then just when you come to each side, just make sure you can see the front top and top. That's it. So just let it top.
Now, he didn't mention somebody coming to eventually, or okay. No worries either way.
Let's have one more go at things. About ready for the nightcap here in Shreveport, Louisiana. 10 seconds running off the clock right now as these two teams get ready to decide the final slot in tomorrow's SCAC Championship Sunday. Buzzer sounds, and in the Gold Dome here on the campus of Centenary College, about to go through the starting lineups for the Colorado College Tigers and the Texas Lutheran Bulldogs. Starting first with the Colorado College. Looks like it's going to be their same starting five that they ran out yesterday in their quarterfinal victory against the University of Dallas. Keely Bledsoe is out there, joined by Issa Nelson, Zoe Tomlinson, Rose Kohler, and actually one change. It's going to be Audrey Baston, who played very well in the Tigers' wins. She had 15 points yesterday off the bench. That's good enough to move her into the starting five. Shot very well from the outside. A very difficult task in the Gold Dome. Something that teams have dealt with all weekend long. As we get ready for our fourth semifinal here today, Texas Lutheran earned the bye. They went 13-3 in regular season play. So it'll be their first game in almost a full week. They're coming off a win their last time out last weekend, a home victory over the Southwestern University Pirates. Final score in that one, 68-65. So able to squeak out a close one with a victory at home. For the Bulldogs, just ran out onto the court. It's going to be number 11, Kayla Presley. She's going to be joined by Jones, Sensano. Rounding out the starting five, it's going to be Morig and Mulkey. Texas Lutheran finishing in the standings just ahead of Colorado College, who went 12-4 in conference play. But the Bulldogs out of TLU took down the Colorado College Tigers 2 times in the regular season. It's been very difficult for teams this weekend that went 2-0 in their regular season matchups to come away with a third one. We'll see if Texas Lutheran can do it. They'll start on the defensive end of the floor. Rose Kohler all the way to the basket. Strong start as she gets that one to fall in off the rim. Operated on the near side of the floor. Found herself wide open on the baseline. Had a lane right to the basket. She took advantage of it. On the outside, trying to work around the screen. That time is Sansano. She gets held. I believe it was Kohler who committed the foul after opening up the scoring here. Sansano will trigger it in. She gets it over to Jones. Operating at the top of the key. She'll get the screen from Morig. Now kick to Mulkey. Mulkey operating around the elbow. She kicks out with 10 seconds on the shot clock now. Down low. Morig trying to operate on the inside. She'll give it to Mulkey. Her shot is up. She misses it to the left as the buzzer sounds. But it hit out of bounds anyway. A nice, strong opening possession defensively for Colorado College. You joined us last night and watched this Colorado College team in their blowout victory over the University of Dallas. Heard us talk about the size and length that they sport. As Bledsoe goes inside, a nice shovel pass. Zoe Tomlinson getting started early. She had 14 in yesterday's game. Unsung leader of this Colorado College squad, a double-double machine. Averages about 18 and 14 on the season. She gets a board there. Continuing their strong start defensively, and Basin will bring it back for the Tigers. Feed over the top, perfectly placed to Nelson. Again, Tomlinson pulling up, quick decision-making on the offensive end. She has 4 consecutive points for the Tigers as the Bulldogs trying still to find their way into the point column. Sansano operating. She'll go with her right hand. That one gets knocked away. She was knocked off balance and looked to the referees with her hands up, wondering where the foul call was, but she didn't get one. So now she will trigger it inbounds. Up over the top this time to Presley. Presley was very impressive in her last game, that affair against Southwestern, but this time it's Morig down low, going up over the top of defense and breaking this opening drought for the Bulldogs. Finally on the board and cutting the lead, but Tomlinson answering quickly. A great entry pass from that far wing. She finds herself open under the basket yet again. She has 6 of Colorado's 8 in the early going. Sansano going with her left hand, kick to the corner. Presley, nice crossover between her legs, but still a lot of opposition on the inside. That 3 ball, good though. Mulkey knocking it down from the far wing. She claps her hands together as TLU finding a little bit of rhythm. Bledsoe will kick that one out, but kicked by Sansano means it's going to stop play. Colorado College retaining possession right here as Nelson set to get the offense going. The Tigers will still have 23 seconds on the shot clock as Kohler catching this one near half court. Offense will get set. Kohler near side, hands off to Nelson. Bledsoe at the top of the key. Back to Nelson on the wing. She'll get a screen from Tomlinson and pull up from beyond the arc. She leaves that short, though. Bledsoe fighting on the inside. On her back was Mulkey, and the referee is going to say that Mulkey dragged Bledsoe to the ground. It'll be a foul on the Bulldogs, just their first. But it means the ball will remain with the Tigers. Nelson struggling to find someone, eventually gets it into Bledsoe. Broken play on that inbound, so Kohler will have to reset. Regains her balance, pulls up from about 10 feet and cashes it. Impressive stroke from Rose Kohler right there. A freshman out of Bend, Oregon, having an impressive first year in Colorado. Mulkey again with the ball in her hands, gives over to Sansano. Calling for a screen. It comes from Jones. finds herself on the near side, eventually gets in the middle of the paint. That one, high arcing shot is no good, and Tomlinson trying to track it down. She does so and is able to get it over to Basin, but she can't catch it cleanly. Only 4 seconds to get across the timeline, and they get it all the way up into Tomlinson. She gets denied, but her own offensive rebound and the putback is good. Tomlinson with 8, already toying at double-digit points. But at the other end, Presley all the way to the basket, finishing nicely with her left hand. Texas Lutheran responding on the offensive end, but still an uphill battle trailing early on as Bledsoe goes inside but gets denied. That one turned away. Somehow she's the one to come away with her offensive rebound. Baston converts. Second chance points. Huge opportunity taken advantage of right there. Baston, the 5'11 senior out of California, knocking that one down as Presley back on the offensive end. Kicks out. This time Jones has it at the top of the key, going one-on-one at Baston. Leaves it just a little bit short, gathers her own. Kick out to Sansano. She'll go, discards the defender, but it's an offensive foul. Used that left arm, but a little bit too aggressively. Maybe sold well by the Tigers. Someone flew out of bounds. One way or another, Colorado College regaining possession. Already out and headed this one by 9 as Kohler with a nice feed to Bledsoe. A great backdoor cut, but an even prettier pass. That's going to prompt a timeout early. Coach Patterson and the Bulldogs want to talk things over, and I don't blame them. Colorado College with a very hot start, similar to what we saw yesterday in their victory over the University of Dallas. A couple of Bulldogs are set to check into the game. I believe it's Sotelo and Perez who will be on the court out of this timeout. One more Bulldog will take off a shooting shirt. Looks like it's Sarahi Jones, the 5'11 sophomore out of Los Fresnos. So 3 changes coming for Coach Patterson, as Colorado College truly can do no wrong on the offensive end of the floor. Started 8 of 11, better than 70% from the field. Haven't taken all that many threes, just 1 of 2. But that 50% mark, similar to what they shot on the entire game yesterday, 15 of 29 from downtown, good for about 52%. On the other side, Texas Lutheran, 3 of 8, just under 40%. But of course, Colorado with a couple more opportunities, and they're converting on nearly everything right now. Bulldogs will try and cut into the lead. Coming out of that timeout, Morig has it on that far wing. She'll hand off. It's Mulkey with it again. She gives. Screen there, but ball fumbled. The referee going to say it was a double dribble. Sotelo was trying to rise up from about 16 feet right around the free throw line, but lost control of the basketball, and it goes back to Colorado. Kohler operating at the top of the key, electing not to give to Bledsoe. She gets all the way to the rim, and there she'll finish. Inside presence of Morig, and not enough to deter her. Colorado now leads this one by 13. Hand off to Jones, but she'll go cross court. Morig trying to find another Bulldog. Perez now takes it into the paint from the outside. This 3-ball is short, but it's Nelson able to control the defensive rebound. She gives to Baston, but will get it right back. Baston inside, Tomlinson turns and finishes. She has 10 of Colorado's 21. A red-hot start for Zoe Tomlinson. In the early going, Texas Lutheran has not had any answer for 6'2" Zoe Tomlinson, whose presence is felt on the inside. It's Mulkey operating on the perimeter, trying to free herself. She'll give it off, going to the basket, but deterred by Baston that time was Sarahi Jones. Found herself behind the backboard, not an ideal position to put that one up. And ultimately it winds up out of bounds. Finally, a change comes for Colorado. Kayla Mackle, who started yesterday's game, comes in replacing Baston. She'll get her first touch on the outside, picks up her dribble and gives over to Tomlinson. Nice feed. It was a good idea, but just took a deflection on the way there. Winds up out of bounds, going back to Texas Lutheran. Still trying to find their footing. Nice run from Colorado, has them ahead by 15. It's gone cold from the court. Presley doing a nice job tracking that one down. Bulldogs trying to find an answer. Sotelo has it on the far wing, being checked by Kohler. Picks up her dribble and gives to Presley, who is driven towards the baseline. She makes a nice pass, though. And waiting for it right there was Emerald St. Laurent. She knocks down that 15-footer and ends the drought, giving Texas Lutheran their 7th and 8th points. Presley almost coming away with a steal, coming over and help right there on the backside. Poked it away, but unfortunately for the Bulldogs, it ends up in the crowd on the near side of the court. Trying to get that one in, but it's taken away all the way to the basket. Bulldogs can't finish. Sotelo has that one fall off the rim. Some contact on her backside, but she doesn't get the call. All the way into the paint. Bledsoe with position on the inside, but her shot rims off. Tomlinson's follow tip is also no good, and Presley coming back the other direction. Feeding on the inside, St. Laurent again, but her shot also falling off. Very good looks at the basket for each of these teams, just unable to convert. And St. Laurent claps her hands in frustration. Kohler handing to Mackle. There's a backdoor cut coming from one of her teammates. As there, Jones takes the pass. That was a little bit wide of the mark, all the way to the bucket for a transition layup. Nelson at half court. She'll finally bring it across the timeline. Now 20 seconds to operate with on the shot clock. Bledsoe on the outside. They're trying to find Zoe Tomlinson on the inside, but it opens up enough of a lane where Mackle got all the way down the middle of the paint, but just couldn't finish the layup. That time, a three-pointer is good. Sotelo knocking that one down from the far wing, nothing but net. Texas Lutheran closing to within the single digits. A nice little run of their own of 7-0. Bledsoe picks it up, gives it to Nelson, back down low to Tomlinson, and Tomlinson will end the drought for the Tigers. She has 12, and truthfully, there's been no answer for her on that end of the court. Presley operating against Bledsoe. A screen came, but didn't free her up, and ultimately she loses the ball. Perez trying to take it back away. It's still loose in the backcourt, and finally a foul is going to be called, I believe, against Callie Perez. That is, in fact, the case. Kyle Rowland going to check on. Baston coming back for Colorado College. A couple of changes for Coach August. With 13.7 seconds remaining in this opening period. It'll be Nelson who brings it across, as the Tigers will be able to hold it for the last shot. She has it herself with 3 on the shot clock. Baston has to put one up, but it gets blocked. That one away before the buzzer, but Nelson wide of the mark to the right. A very strong opening frame from Colorado College. Ending the period better than 60% from the field. Jumped out to a large early lead. And Texas Lutheran trying their best to battle back right now. Got it back to single digits just momentarily, But as it stands, Colorado will head into the second quarter, leading this one 23-13. Of course, it's in large part because of Zoe Tomlinson. 12 points already, 8 shot attempts, shooting 75% from the field. Grabbed 4 boards in that opening frame. On the other side, the Bulldogs, a pretty balanced approach. No one with more than 1 make. Sotelo knocking down a 3 ball, so she does lead Texas Lutheran at the moment. Kayla Presley, name that we called frequently in that first period, handling the ball on offense, trying to create a little bit of chaos on the defensive end, a name that's going to have to come on for the Bulldogs. Incredibly successful her last time out. 23 points, very efficient, 7 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. She got to the free throw line 9 times and converted on 7 of those attempts. Texas Lutheran going to start with the ball in this second frame. Sotelo on the outside. She'll get a screen. It'll free her up to get down that left lane line, but it gets blocked once she gets to the basket. Colorado coming back cleanly as Kohler brings it inside the paint. And a nice finish there from Rose Kohler. She was stopped on that block originally. She restarts herself, elevates, and uses the glass to help her out. Sotelo on the outside has that one knocked away. Bledsoe coming back the other direction on the left side of the rim, over the top, but there to clean it up. Looks like Nelson, who corralled that offensive rebound. She went to the floor, but it was knocked away by Texas Lutheran. So the Tigers will retain possession. Issa Nelson will head to the sideline. Instead, it'll be Healy Bledsoe who replaces her there, the duty of getting this ball inbounds. Tries to give it to Rose Kohler, who is flashing from inside the three-point arc, and that one is ultimately kicked by Lacey, who checks in for the first time, the senior guard out of Pflugerville, Texas. Bledsoe trying to get inbound from the same spot. She'll give to Baston this time, and about that short corner area. Lost control briefly. The referee going to say she double dribbled. So a couple of opportunities for the Tigers, but ultimately they turn the ball over and come up empty. Sensano brought it up the court. St. Laurent pulling on the three-point line, but she knocks it home. Worth just 2, but they're going to take it for the time being. Trap right at half court, but Kohler was able to get it away. She gets it right back, and she puts up the 3. It's just a little bit long. Tomlinson controlling underneath. She finds Baston, and Baston makes the second chance opportunity count. Texas Lutheran was able to cut it to 10, but almost immediately Colorado College back out ahead by 12. St. Laurent again right on that three-point line. This one cross court, very nearly picked off, but finds its intended target, Mulkey, who went to the basket. She gets knocked down. Foul will go against Colorado College. This time it's Bledsoe who picks up her first. Now Sansano will trigger, trying to get Mulkey. Bledsoe defended it very nicely, deflected it into the scorer's table. So it'll stay with TLU. Sansano still going to be handling the duties of putting this into play. She does so successfully. A little less contested this time. Got it to Mulkey, but she gets it back immediately. St. Laurent trying to set a screen on the outside, but Rose Kohler playing very stout defense. This one a little bit more effective, but right there is Bledsoe, who's able to take it away. Gets knocked out of her hands, and as she was reaching for it, she tipped it out of bounds towards Coach Patterson from TLU. Sansano will get it right back from Lacey and bring it across the timeline. Gives back to Lacey on the wing, up top, St. Laurent. Opposite wing. Now Mulkey has it. She'll reset. St. Laurent, same spot. She just knocked one down. She does so again. Bulldog bench is loving it. St. Laurent has 6 for Texas Lutheran. Pressure in the backcourt, but Basin and Kohler skipping across to each other. This one into the corner. Mackel thought about it briefly. Better look inside for Tomlinson. It was tightly contested, but not cleanly, as Lacey rotated over and got a piece of Zoe Tomlinson, who will head to the free throw line and shoot a couple. Tomlinson, great from the field, but even more dangerous because you really can't afford to foul her either. That one, a rare miss for number 30. On the year, she's shooting better than 70% from the free throw line. Very impressive from the big, but she misses both here. Doesn't matter, as Bledsoe momentarily had it, but dribbled it off her leg. Kicking herself just a little bit right there, but getting some words of encouragement from her coaching staff. No harm done. Bulldogs come back the other way, trying to cut into this lead, make it single digits again. St. Laurent with a nice entry pass to Lacey, who just couldn't handle it. Came in just a little bit low off the bounce. So the Tigers bringing it up. Kohler crosses half court. She's being checked again by Sansano near that logo. Again, trying to free Tomlinson on the inside. Came open just briefly. Kohler knocks down that 3, but not after Mackel went through the defense. She gets charged with a foul. Offensive, as she was a little bit out of control, trying to make that kick to the corner. She did so successfully, but just couldn't keep her body under control. Went through the defense right there. Just 2 personal fouls in this period for Colorado College, only 1 for Texas Lutheran. With almost 3.5 gone here in the second frame. Sansano navigating, trying to use that screen successfully, but Kohler waiting for her on the other side of it. Kohler proving to be a tough challenge to overcome on this end of the court. Forces Sansano to shuffle her feet right there. Another turnover from Texas Lutheran. Gives the ball back to the Tigers. Bledsoe up the court to Tomlinson, nearly picked off. It was Jones who was just a step late. Baston now from 3, knocks it down. Swings her fist. Another make for Baston, who has been on fire the past 2 days for Colorado College, making them count from the outside. This one, cross court to Mulkey. Gives it to Lacey in the corner. She gets it back, though, attacking at Tomlinson. Goes to the ground a little bit strong over the rim. No foul called. Mackel, full cross-court skip. Baston wanted it, and she got it. Another one. Audrey Baston simply can't miss in Shreveport. She has been wonderful. Some whistles here. And Colorado College assumed it was a timeout. Don't know what the original whistle was for, but they'll have to come back onto the court. An awkward moment there, but play resumes with the Tigers now sporting a 16-point advantage. Rising up from 3 that time, Jones cannot get it to go. Tomlinson outlet to Baston, who will bring it up the court. She gives to Bledsoe. Bledsoe looking for some help. She lost her dribble. She gives it to Rose Kohler, who loses it. It was again Sarahi Jones in there trying to pry it away. She did so, but got a little bit of the arm in the process. Another foul there. But it's just Jones' first foul. Colorado keeping possession on the offensive end. Kohler going over the top, cannot connect with Tomlinson. All of a sudden, Mulkey racing in transition, throws herself right into Baston. Can't finish the layup, but draws the foul. So Kohler trying to connect with Tomlinson right there. Throws it away and gets Mulkey going immediately in transition. Kaylee Mulkey, the junior out of New Braunfels, Texas, doing a nice job of pressuring the basket immediately. She converts on the front end of these two attempts at the line. The second one is up, and it's also good, so a sub will come onto the floor for Colorado. It's Issa Nelson checking back into the game for Kayla Mackel. Nelson, the freshman out of Edina, Minnesota. Kohler brings it across, and there she'll be trapped, but she's able to find Tomlinson. Tomlinson gives over to Bledsoe, back up top. Kohler open for three, but she'll give to Baston. Tigers deferring a couple of times on the perimeter now. They'll have just 10 seconds to work with. Ultimately, Kohler going to get called for a carrying violation right there, trying to take advantage of the screen that Zoe Tomlinson was setting for her. The referee spotted the violation, blew the whistle with 4:46, meaning we'll have our second media timeout of semifinal number 2. Texas Lutheran, 40% from the field, 1 of 3 from beyond the arc. Knocked down their 2 free throws. Only 4 free throws have been attempted in this one so far. They're leading in the fast break points category 6-0, but points in the paint, a 20-6 advantage for Colorado College. And of course, Zoe Tomlinson, who has 12, a big reason why that's the case. Tomlinson and Audrey Baston at the moment combining for 23 of the Tigers' 33 points. They've done it on 10 of 13 shooting. Just a couple of rare misses from the two of them. Bulldogs failing to get their big guns going in the early going. It's Emerald St. Laurent who has 6 points, leading the way for Texas Lutheran. Mulkey with 4, Presley with just 2. Ansano gives to Morrig on the inside, tries to spin and operate around Tomlinson. Tomlinson maybe got a piece of it. Not a clean look at the basket at all, but it gets knocked out of bounds and will stay with Texas Lutheran. Morrig will kick to the outside. That one a little bit too strong. Sansano, who had a look that she liked. Opposite way, Kohler with a nice pass to Bledsoe. But Texas Lutheran recovered well. Jones closing to the corner there. It's Nelson trying to find Tomlinson on the inside. She kicks opposite wing. Baston again leaves that one a little bit short. A good closeout from Kaylee Mulkey that time. Sansano brings it into the front court. Looking to get the ball on the inside. She does so successfully. Morrig again going against Tomlinson. She's looking to her bench, wondering where the foul call is, but none comes. Mulkey going, trying to trap Kohler. Provides enough disruption to at least induce the travel. Kohler was trying to back out of there between the two defenders, but didn't put the ball on the ground. So another turnover. Give the ball back to Texas Lutheran. Their deficit has hovered right around that 10-point mark as Morrig able to catch. Jones thinks about it and ultimately does shoot, but she misses long. Colorado limiting the Bulldogs to just a one-and-done possession there as Kohler brings it up. Baston over the top trying to find Tomlinson, who eventually corrals it and somehow contorts herself to put it up and in. Just one of those nights for Zoe Tomlinson, who now has 14, and Colorado College leads by 16. Sensano picks up her dribble, trying to find Morg on the inside. She does. Kicks to the opposite corner. It's Lacey who thought about it. This time we'll put it on the ground. Jones holding at the top of the key. She gives to Mulkey, who has just 5 on the shot. Gets around the defense, but a little bit strong on the layup. One fell off the rim, and it was a couple of Bulldogs on the inside trying to track down the offensive board. In the process, though, they get charged with the foul. Coach Patterson going with a couple of new faces here. Presley back onto the floor. She's in the backcourt, also pressuring Rose Kohler with the ball right now. Sensano. Kohler loses possession. That one's ripped away by Sensano. Presley is going to come back the other direction. She gives off on the wing. Now moving to the top of the floor. Ultimately, wind up again with Sensano on the near side wing. St. Laurent providing a screen right there. Another shot. This one just a little bit off to the right. We've already seen St. Laurent hit a couple of shots from right on the three-point line. Another feed on the inside. Tomlinson doesn't catch cleanly, but the referee going to say St. Laurent coming through her back. A little bit too much contact there. Nelson trying to find someone. Eventually she does, and it's Tomlinson on the opposite block. She gave it to Bledsoe, who put herself in an awkward position, picking up the dribble. But now with 10 seconds, Colorado College resets the possession. Kohler trying to find some space, using a variety of dribble moves right there, going behind her back, trying to spin into some open area, but instead spins straight into the arms of the Bulldogs. They'll wrap it up. Another jump ball. Possession stays on this end, and Colorado will have 6 seconds to get a shot off. It's a nice pass from Nelson, an immediate whistle on the inside. It was Baston who caught in the paint. But as she did so, she was being held. Not sure if this is going to be 2 shots. It will be, as the referee holds his hand up. But also now with that last foul, Colorado will enter the bonus over the last 150 of this first half. First one is good, rattles home for Baston. Second one pending, opportunity to extend this lead even further. She does so, it's all the way out to 18. Colorado College nearly doubling up the Texas Lutheran Bulldogs at the moment. Sensano with it in the front court, takes the screen, backdoor cut there. Referee holds out his leg. I think it's going to be a kicked ball call. Someone went to the ground, not any contact for a foul. But the stoppage will give the ball to Texas Lutheran on the baseline. Sensano set to trigger it in. She does have Lacey on that far corner. Lacey unable to keep control of the basketball, however. Loose dribble, and she loses it on the inline. Nelson will take this one and advance it into the front court. Waiting for the action, Rose Kohler coming across your screen. She'll rise up, and that one rims out. She chases her own miss, but she can't quite get it. Sensano doing a nice job of keeping her on her back. Minute 10 remaining. Texas Lutheran desperately trying to cut into this lead, make it a little bit more manageable as they head into the locker room. Presley being checked by Bledsoe. Going down the left lane line, up and under, and finally gets one to fall. Spun a couple of times on the left side of the lane. Allowed Bledsoe to recover, but despite that fact, she put that one up and in over the top. Shot clock down to 20 now as Nelson uses the screen from Baston. Gets the ball down low to Tomlinson, who kicks opposite wing. Kohler thought about it, but she'll take it to the inside. Baston now down low. Tomlinson corrals it, and that one dribbles in. Catches it, arms outstretched. The defense doing everything they could, trying to tip it away. Find themselves out of possession. Tomlinson with possession. All she had to do was finish it. Sensano on the inside, a little bit strong. The kick to the outside, that one also no good off the back iron. With about 5 seconds remaining, Colorado College, opportunity for the last shot. Tomlinson will hoist, but not before she shuffled her feet. So a last second turnover with about 2.5 seconds remaining in the half. The Bulldogs will have to take it the length of the court, more than likely going to be a half-court heave. Trying to avoid any last-second fouls. It's going to be Emma Nawara who checks into the game for this final couple of ticks. Presley catches, not going especially quickly. She hoists that one, but it's after the buzzer sounds. What a first half of play from Colorado College, picking up right where they left off in their quarterfinal victory last night. Currently, they're out ahead in this one. 18-point advantage at the break. They lead Texas Lutheran 39-21. Called her name so many times already, but Zoe Tomlinson heads into the break with a double-double. 16 points on 8 of 10 shooting on the inside, 10 rebounds. There's been absolutely no answer for her. Coach Patterson, Texas Lutheran, will have their work cut out for them. They'll need to make some adjustments in the second half of play. But before that, about 14.5 on the scoreboard here on the campus of Centenary College in Shreveport, Louisiana. We'll take a brief break and then be back with the second half of action. one more half, and then we will have our championship matchup decided. Trinity Tigers have already moved on to Championship Sunday. Right now, Colorado College trying to match their Tiger counterparts in the final round of this year's Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference Women's Championship. They'll have to play 20 more minutes here in this semifinal against Texas Lutheran, who beat them twice in the regular season. So they know a thing or two about taking these Tigers down, but they certainly have their work cut out for them. They'll get the ball first as they switch sides of the court, see if that might help them out at all. As Mulkey thought about it for just a second, Morig ultimately will get it on the block. She goes underneath and finally gets a whistle on the inside. A couple of times that she tried to go to the basket on the other end of the court in the first half, but she was denied by Zoe Tomlinson. That time, Tomlinson getting tagged with the foul. Still just her first of this affair. Morig's first shot is up and it rims out. A little flat, but it was everything but down for the senior. 6'1" out of Spring Branch, Texas. Makes the adjustment and knocks the second one in. A little bit of pressure, the distance of the court from the Bulldogs, but Tigers pitch it ahead, find Zoe Tomlinson. She'll hand it off to Nelson. Makes the bounce pass, and Kohler has it taken out of her hands. Sansano racing to the rim. That one, she left a little bit short, but a lot of white jerseys underneath the basket. Sansano got it back, tried to get it back to Mulkey, but ultimately he gets tipped out of bounds. Colorado College will have the opportunity to set their defense. A nice play from the Bulldogs, taking the ball out of the hands of Rose Kohler, just couldn't finish at the rim in transition. As Presley finds Morig on the inside, forces it to Mulkey, who nearly had it taken away. She'll fade and puts that one on the rim, and it'll fall through. Strong start to the second half for Texas Lutheran. Mulkey clapping her hands together, trying to energize herself in this team. Defensive chants coming from those on the bench of Texas Lutheran, and Sansano nearly tipping that one away from behind. Just caught a little bit of the arm of Rose Kohler as well. That's just her second foul, so no trouble there. Coach Patterson certainly going to need this starting unit out there on the court for the bulk of this half as Bledsoe goes to the basket. She gets turned away. Baston cross court. She has Nelson there who finds the middle of the floor. That one is just a little bit short. That was Kohler from about 15 feet. As Presley brings it back the other direction. She'll try down that right lane line, forces the issue. Kohler remaining in front of her, sliding her feet. But as Presley going up for that shot, she swung her arms through and created the contact on the body. A good start to this second period. 3-0 run out of the gate, and Presley can add a couple more. First one nearly rims out, but it falls back through after bouncing up. So she'll have a second opportunity here. The 5'6" junior out of Kyle, Texas, can't connect on her second free throw, and Texas Lutheran going to continue to pressure in the backcourt. Double team comes, but able to get it away cleanly to Nelson. Now Tomlinson on the inside. She'll kick to Baston. Great ball movement. No shot yet as Kohler catches another kick to the corner. Nelson from Tomlinson. Now Baston out top with 7 on the shot clock. She gives to Kohler, who's going to have to put one up with 5. Spins, puts that up, but leaves it well short. Didn't draw any iron, but Texas Lutheran controls before the buzzer sounds. So Presley gets the chance to go the other way. She'll feed underneath. It's Morig operating again under the basket. Hit again, unable to get it to go, and doesn't get the whistle either. Nelson gives to Rose Kohler, cross to Baston. Feed inside, a little bit too strong this time. Baston cannot find Tomlinson. She's been hard to miss. A lot of perfectly weighted passes in the first half of play from this Colorado College side. A couple of times where she had to fully extend in order to corral the basketball. That time just couldn't get a hand on it. Presley now giving to Tapia. Tapia the other way to Jones, who's going to get called for the second carrying violation of the evening. So Texas Lutheran will give it right back. Bledsoe will give the ball back to the referee. Tomlinson catches it right at half court. Bledsoe will get it back. She races into the front court. She'll gather and pitch it back to Issa Nelson, being challenged far outside the three-point line by Presley. Mulkey comes over to double. The ball's out of Nelson's hands. Tomlinson now working on the inside, fading and tossing it across the court to Mackel. Couple of players on the inside. That time, Tomlinson's shot was rejected by Morig. Looked clean up top from my vantage point, but it looked like there might have also been an offhand on the hip of Tomlinson. In the arena, the announcement was made that that one actually went against Tapia. So perhaps Denise Morig got it cleanly. But there was another player in the vicinity who got charged with a foul. Nonetheless, Colorado College on the board here in the third period. Jones has it on the wing. She'll give up top to Presley. Thought about the three very briefly. Instead, she'll give inside. Morig still trying to operate. This time, she gets it to go through the contact. Tomlinson brought her arms down just a little bit, and as Morig put that one towards the rim, she created the contact. And somehow, even though I think that might have hit the front of the rim, got enough behind it, created the momentum and snuck it over. That one good from the free throw line. Now she's 2 for 3 at the charity stripe. Full court pressure. Bledsoe doesn't have anyone originally, but Tomlinson comes back to help her out. They get it into the front court. Double as soon as she gets it across. Tomlinson in the middle of the court giving back to Bledsoe. Referees are going to converge. Far referee had his hands up, and it will be a jump ball. I wanted to make sure they got that call right. Morig playing the passing lane nicely. Bledsoe had it in her hands. Morig doing a nice job getting her hand on the basketball as well. Tomlinson catches in the corner, looks to hand off, but Bledsoe is denied nicely by Presley. Issa Nelson operating, gives to Bledsoe. She'll put up a three, and she leaves it just a little bit short. Mulkey with the rebound. Texas Lutheran trying to draw within within 10, within double digits if they can hit a three. Presley on the far side of the basket. On the left side trying to contort, get a shot up on the rim, but before she went into her motion, the referees will say she was fouled. That one going against Mackel, who picks up just her second. Ball in over the top. Will find eventually Presley kicking to the corner for Jones, trying to feed St. Laurent on the inside, but Tomlinson perfectly timing things. Presley saving it, however. Presley getting the saved ball. It was Mulkey who dove out of bounds. Nice play defensively from Texas Lutheran right there, staying energized despite the big deficit that they face. Playing the passing lanes very well right there, and Mulkey showing some extra effort as that one was going out of bounds, diving and saving to Presley, who misses the first of her two attempts at the free throw line. Second is good. She makes the adjustment, knocks it home. Bledsoe again being forced to get it ahead to Tomlinson. Nice denial. happening against Issa Nelson. Bledsoe catches on the near side wing, nowhere to go. She's being denied by Presley, but she gets the ball back. Able to get one up at the rim, some contact, sent her to the floor, but the referee is going to let play continue. Presley bringing it down the floor. St. Laurent nearly got that one away. Had to think better of it as Bledsoe got there. Presley a little bit strong, but Mulkey ripping away the offensive rebound. Comes up with another miss. That time it's Jones who's able to knock it home. So extra efforts, and Texas Lutheran back in this one. 9-point single-digit deficit for the Bulldogs, who have come on very strong in this second half. Lead this frame by a margin of 10 to just 1. A lot of energy from Texas Lutheran on that sideline. Another trap. Goes to Baston in the corner, trying to find Tomlinson on the inside. Eventually finds Mackle. Jones saves it. Shot clock reset. Baston will get it up anyways, and she knocks it home. Scrambling possession finds the Bulldogs out of position on defense. Baston knocks one home. Long possession. I was surprised to see the shot clock get reset right there. But Colorado taking full advantage of it, pushing this one back to double digits. Jones picks up her dribble. No harm done as she's able to get it over to Presley. She'll step back briefly, thought about the three. St. Laurent with just 2 on the shot clock, puts it up and puts it in. Forced to shoot that one at the buzzer, but she made it count. 4 minutes remaining here in quarter number 3, nearly taken away by the Bulldogs, whose full court pressure is certainly making an impact in the second half. Nelson gives off to Baston, who gives to Bledsoe. Back to Baston, open on the 3, but this one is no good. Long rebound. Karams to Colorado, trying to go inside. St. Laurent going to get tagged with a foul as Nelson was trying to rip back through. Couldn't defend cleanly right there. Emerald St. Laurent. Finally, a minute and 20 after the 5-minute mark, we'll get a stoppage in play and our media timeout here in the third quarter. Texas Lutheran fighting tooth and nail to get back into this one. One benefit that they will have over the last 3:40 here in the third quarter, they're now in the bonus. They've been very aggressive this period. They've got the benefit of a couple more whistles on the inside. And because of it, they'll now head to the free throw line. Neither of these teams shooting great from the charity stripe. 3 of 6 for Colorado College. On the other side, 6 of 9 for Texas Lutheran, underneath 70% at the moment. Texas Lutheran also on the night as a whole doing a better job taking care of the basketball. 10 turnovers for the Bulldogs, just 15 for Colorado College. TLU going to need to continue to care for the rock. So trying to crawl back into this one, still facing a double-digit deficit. Both teams break their huddles, and the Tigers will be set to get this one put into play. It's Issa Nelson who will have that responsibility. Referee hands her the ball. 20 seconds on the shot clock as it's inbounded to Baston, given back to Nelson, operating one-on-one on the outside. She's currently being checked by Juliana Tapia. Just about 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Tomlinson going to have to go quick. St. Laurent a little too aggressive. She closed the gap on Tomlinson at the top of the key. Tomlinson tried to put the ball on the ground and go by her. She was held up just enough to warrant the whistle. So St. Laurent going to check out of the game. Morig will come back onto the court for Coach Patterson. A nice inbounds pass, finds Bledsoe on the block. She just doesn't have the angle as Jones recovers nicely. And staying in front, sliding her feet that time, Juliana Tapia draws the charge. Offensive foul going there against Issa Nelson. Texas Lutheran forcing another turnover for Colorado College. Referees headed to the other end of the court. Since it was an offensive foul, it shouldn't warrant free throws as Texas Lutheran is in the penalty. It should, however, give the Bulldogs the opportunity to make a sub. Currently sitting at the scorer's table is Sarahi Jones, and I'm mistaken. What I believe was originally called a charge on the court has now been overturned. Not sure if the referees came together and had a conference. It certainly didn't appear like it, and I'm almost sure that I saw the referee on the baseline closest to the play signal the offensive foul. Coach Patterson from Texas Lutheran having an extended conversation with one of the referees as Issa Nelson's first free throw is up and in. But his appeals will not come to fruition as the second one is pending. It's up and it's a little bit long. Presley comes into the picture for the rebound, bringing it the length of the court. Nice crossover to get to the middle of the floor, up off the glass and in. Short memory for these Bulldogs. They washed that last play and cut the lead back to 9. Single digits with 3 minutes remaining. Both teams now in the bonus. They'll shoot free throws on any foul the rest of the way. That's Nawara into the game, top of the key, over to Bledsoe. She'll go baseline, but she picks up her dribble. Outside to Nelson, who has about 5 on the shot clock. A foul, offensive this time, emphatically signaled by the referee, leaves no doubt. That one away from the ball handler. There's a screen coming, just a lot of traffic in the middle of the floor as that possession broke down for Colorado College. They were running out of time. And ultimately, Texas Lutheran rewarded for their nice defensive stand. Presley brings it up the court. Now kicked out to Sarahi Jones. Gives back to Presley on the near side. Thinks about going baseline, steps back, puts up the shot, and she knocks it down for 2. Had her foot on the line. They're going to take points any way they can get them. Now a 7-point deficit. Nawara skies to catch it around half court. Gets it ahead to Mackel. Runs into her own teammate. No issue because of it. Nelson operating, going to the far side. Presley checking her there. Playing without fouling. Mackel gets the ball back, trying to find a sliver. Nice runner. She gets it to go off the glass. Tough shot from Mackel, but she makes it count. Mulkey streaking down the other way, puts that one up. It's no good, but she took the bump and will head to the free throw line. So pace picking up here just a little bit, but it'll slow down as Mulkey will head to the free throw line. Her first is up and she sinks it. Mulkey struggling a bit from the floor. Honest 2 for 6 effort there. But now 3 for 3 at the free throw line. Leaves the last one a little bit short. Should be 3 for 4. Contributing 7 points in the Bulldogs' effort, but it's not over yet. 1:40 remaining in this third quarter as Bledsoe bobbles it on the catch, gets into the paint, puts that up off the backboard. A tough shot as she was trying to contort herself. Texas Lutheran limits them to just 1, coming back the other way. Has to be kicked out. Sotelo got herself on the block, but giving up some significant size to Baston. Morig, however, will go right at Nawara, who strips the ball away. It will remain with Texas Lutheran as Mulkey will head to the baseline, set to get this one put back in play. Find Morig on the opposite block. Narrowly sneaking that one through there was Mulkey. Outstretched arms of Emma Nawara were in the way. But Morig caught it cleanly, and when she went to the basket, she ran into those arms. The foul is drawn. That one too strong off the back iron. Morig will have one more pending. She goes through her routine with 1:16 left in the third period. The second one's up, also no good. Knocked around on the inside, and ultimately Colorado College corrals it. Kicked ahead into Nawara, but back now to Nelson. Ahead to Nawara into the corner. Bledsoe has it there. Cross-court pass. Baston will pull the trigger for the three, but way off the mark. Bledsoe tries her best to save it, but in the process of jumping for it, she stepped on the inline. St. Laurent checking back in, as is Sansano. Morig will get a break to end this quarter, as will Juliana Tapia. The Bulldogs will try and cut further into this lead. Sarahi Jones with it on the outside, calling for Presley to come get it. About 20 seconds on the shot clock. St. Laurent on the inside, shuffled her feet just a little bit, trying to back down Emma Nawara. Oh, instead they will say it's an offensive foul on St. Laurent. So St. Laurent just checked back into the game and immediately picks up her fourth personal foul, so she'll have to be pulled again by Coach Patterson. Madison Malone will come back or come onto the court for the first time, the 6-foot freshman out of Boiling, Texas. Mackle advances up the near sideline, gives over to Bledsoe. A little bit of a deflection right there. Presley applying some pressure. Baston gives it back outside. That one knocked away from Mulkey. Presley trying to run it down, but in the process runs into Issa Nelson. Draws the whistle, and Nelson will head to the free throw line. Coach coming, or a change coming from Coach August. It's going to be Kyle Rowland onto the court. Audrey Baston checking out. Also coming off Mackle, Juliana Garcia will have her number called for the last 25 seconds of this period. The first shot is up and good. Nelson taking advantage of the aggressive defense from Texas Lutheran that sent her to the free throw line. 9-point advantage extended from 8. Could not extend it to 10, however, so it remains at single digits, and Texas Lutheran can take the final shot of this quarter if they so desire. Going a little bit quickly, now they'll draw it back out with about 10 seconds left. Presley going on the far side, putting that one up, missing a little bit short. Mulkey finding a way to gather that offensive rebound underneath the basket. She threw it back up at the basket, somehow gathering the miss of Madison Malone. Great effort from Mulkey right there, creating the second chance opportunity. She makes the first one count at the free throw line. Trying to make this a 7-point deficit heading into the fourth quarter. 4.1 seconds remaining here in the quarter. That one is up, and it's also good. So some full court pressure again from Texas Lutheran as Rowland catches. She'll bring it to half court, and she will heave, but it's going to be well short. That one no good. So Texas Lutheran cutting into this deficit, trailing by just 7 now, headed to the fourth quarter. It was a little bit of a mountain to climb coming out at halftime, but they win that period by a margin of 11 points, 19-8 in favor of the Bulldogs. Still being outshot by a significant margin. Colorado College better than 50% from the field on the evening. Texas Lutheran doing what they can to improve their mark, though, nearly out to 37%. Colorado College, 4 of 12 from beyond three-point line. It's good for 1 for every 3. On the other side, though, Texas Lutheran not forcing a lot of attempts from beyond the arc. They've just made 1 of their 6 attempts. Each of these squads, however, leaving some points at the free throw line. 5 of 10 for Colorado, 9 of 15 for Texas Lutheran. At least 5 points being left out there for both of these squads that I'm sure they would love. The second buzzer sounds. Colorado College back out on the court. Texas Lutheran is awaiting them. Texas Lutheran again has possession arrow, so they will start the fourth quarter with the basketball. Trying to further narrow the gap. Mulkey giving up top to Sarahi Jones into the corner where Presley was awaiting it, but she has the ball taken from her. Taken right back, however, and put up and in. Circus shot from Juliana Tapia cuts the lead to 5. Kohler trying to bring it across half court successfully this time, and she does. Dribbles at Basin on the wing, and Tomlinson will now set her a screen. Trying to feed it to her on the block, but she can't. Being denied on the inside by Madison Malone, who remains in the game. On the other side, shot rims off. Tomlinson able to gather the offensive board. Throws it up in the air as she was being knocked backwards. We'll see if she gets granted the shooting motion. It looks like she will. Mentioned it earlier. Typically a pretty strong shooter at the free throw line, Zoe Tomlinson. Just 1 for 4 tonight. Has her 5th attempt rim out as well. Second one is up on its way, and it's good. She makes the adjustment, rattles 1 of 2 home to extend this Colorado College lead to 6. Sansano catches but gives it back up top to Sarahi Jones. Other wing to Mulkey, who will rise up but misses it short. Sansano trying to track down that board, take it away from Issa Nelson, but the Tiger controls it easily. Nice spin move from Rose Kohler as she was dribbling into the double. It freed her up enough as Colorado College settles into their offense. Zoe Tomlinson on the inside, kicks to Bledsoe, up top to Baston. Baston operating against Presley, a ton of resistance on the inside, throws that off the rim. Bledsoe almost able to come away with an offensive board, but the other way, Mulkey feeding it on the inside. Madison Malone runs the floor and she gets rewarded. Back to 4. Texas Lutheran is in this basketball game. They trailed by 18 at one point, but their defensive intensity in the second half has put them squarely in contention to move on to tomorrow. Madison Malone rewarded on that last rim run. She'll get a little bit of a breather. Checking back into the game now. Denise Morig. Morig out there. She got her break. Now defending on the inside. Somehow Tomlinson gets that one to Kohler. Kohler to the corner. Bledsoe. Shot from there is a little long. She chases her own rebound, but she's going to get called for a foul. Sansano had position by just a small margin. Bledsoe diving for that basketball, made some contact going through the back of Sansano. And Texas Lutheran will benefit there, regaining possession. Will be Sansano bringing it across the timeline. Does not give to Mulkey. Instead, goes to the wing. She'll cross-court give it to Sarahi Jones. Standing at the top of the key, she receives the screen from Morig. Goes with her right hand. A little awkward there and leaves it short off the glass on the close side. Mulkey checking Kohler. A little bit too aggressive. Bumps her in the backcourt. It'll be a foul there against Mulkey, her third. Already Texas Lutheran's third in this last period. 2 more fouls will send Colorado College to the bonus. Kohler with the ball in her hands, going against Sansano. Pulls it back, picks up her dribble, and gives to Baston. Up over the top, that one's tipped by Morig, but ultimately controlled by Tomlinson. Out to Nelson, to Kohler. Kohler rises up and has it in and out. Miss goes to Texas Lutheran. Some Colorado College faithful in the stands here in Shreveport, including the men's team who moved on to tomorrow's SCAC championship game. Trying to provide some defensive chance. This possession, the Bulldogs down to 5 seconds on the shot clock, but Sansano patient all the way till the end, puts that one up and in off the glass and cuts it to a 1-possession game. Tomlinson catches, middle of the floor, gives it back to Baston, going quickly up off the glass, but a little too strong. Sansano controls, and the Bulldogs can tie or take the lead. Tomlinson, who had a great first half, has gone pretty quiet here in the last 2 frames. Texas Lutheran has found their answer. Now they're trying to find one more bucket on this end of the court. Single digits on the clock again. Sansano wasn't worried last time, not this time either. She can't get it onto the rim with just 1 second remaining. They'll have to very quickly put a shot up at the basket off of the baseline inbounds. Sansano will trigger over the top to Morig, who cannot get a shot off. As the shot clock buzzer goes off very quickly, right as she was catching the ball, it felt like. Colorado College gonna take a timeout here with 6:04 remaining. Wants the opportunity to talk about things. Coach August, whose team has gone cold from the floor in the second half. Just 8 points in that third frame, just 1 so far here in the fourth, being outscored 25-9 in this half. But despite that, they still hold a 2-point advantage over Texas Lutheran. Texas Lutheran doing everything that they can to complete the comeback and get a third victory this year over the Colorado College Tigers. Been a very balanced approach for the Bulldogs, as Presley has 10, Mulkey has added 9, St. Laurent has 8, and Denise Morig on the inside has 6 of her own. Heavy scoring at the top for Colorado College. Joey Tomlinson 18 and Audrey Baston 16 of her own. But a drop off after that. Rose Kohler the next closest with 8, and then a couple of Tigers who have added 2. But Tomlinson and Baston cooling off pretty significantly in this second half. Tigers will need the 2 of their big presences to get going down these final 6 minutes. Kohler swings up top. She has Baston over to Bledsoe. Cross-court pass. Kohler thought about it briefly. Gives to Nelson in the corner. Now up top. Bledsoe to Baston on the wing. She puts that up a little short as the shot clock was dwindling under 10 seconds. Tapia will advance it into the front court. Sarahi Jones going to step just inside 3-point territory, but she leaves it just a tad short. Baston controlled the rebound, lost her dribble, gave it off to Bledsoe, who's trying to find a seam, and she does so. Wide enough one to get it into the front court, where Colorado College will opt to reset. Issa Nelson calling out the play for the offense. Mulkey rips that one away. The referee was very quick to blow the whistle and grant a jump ball. She jumped into the passing lane. Looked like Colorado College, whoever the offensive player was right there, had hands on the basketball. And it was Mulkey just taking it away. A little bit of a delay as she ripped it out. Single digits again on the shot clock. Kohler will have to go. She does so, but she misses everything. Gets tipped out of bounds. And it'll go to Texas Lutheran. Just one tick off the clock, under 5 minutes. So we head into our final media timeout in what has turned into an excellent basketball game. It maybe wasn't so much at the halftime break. Huge advantage for Colorado College, but Texas Lutheran storming back and giving us our fourth very good basketball game today. Started on the men's side when Colorado College earned the upset in a 1-point victory over the one-seeded Trinity Tigers. Centenary, the host college, earned another upset on the men's side, 64-51 over St. Thomas. First women's semifinal, saw the Trinity women come back in the second half after trailing by 4 at the break to beat the Shriner Mountaineers by 10. And now Texas Lutheran will have 4:59 in a game that they trail by just 2 points to try and take the lead. They'll get the opportunity to do so immediately as they have offensive possession. Sansano bringing it across the timeline. She's joined out there by Sotelo, gives over to Mulkey. On the interior, it's Sarahi Jones and Denise Morig rounding out the 5. 15 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Sansano to Mulkey in the corner. Now down to single digits. Sansano thought about it from the outside. Now with just 5, they'll have to go. Jones puts that one up and leaves it short again with her feet on the three-point line. Tomlinson corrals it, spinning out of any potential jump ball. She gets ahead to Healy Bledsoe, skip cross court. Baston with it in her hands. Tomlinson on the block, kick out. This time, Issa Nelson puts it up and in. Colorado College had gone cold from outside the arc, but they find the distance finally in this second half. A big time shot right there. They extend their lead back out to 5. It's 2 possessions as Sansano goes to the rim, gives back to Morig. Morig's shot is off to the right. Tomlinson controls a nice outlet there, gives to Kohler, who puts herself in front of the streaking Sarahi Jones. Trying to get back in transition, but a heads-up play from Kohler, stepping right into the defender's lane. She takes the contact, draws Texas Lutheran's 4th team foul, so just 1 away from entering the bonus are the Colorado College Tigers. For the time being, they will retain possession as Healy Bledsoe is set to get this one put into play. She'll give to Rose Kohler. She'll take a screen from Baston. Picks up her dribble and gives it back to Baston, who receives a screen now from Tomlinson. Rolling to the basket. Well defended on the inside. Jones stepped in front of that pass and creates the turnover. Sansano will hand to Mulkey. Met on the outside by Kohler. Mulkey continuing to keep the dribble all the way into the corner. Morig, opposite wing. Sansano met there by Kohler. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Pass over to Presley. Gets the defender, fly by, puts one up, but well off the mark. Kohler streaking, takes that long rebound and has the transition opportunity. She got the defender up off the ground originally, but Presley was also streaking back and knocked it away as Kohler tried to go up and get the shot off. Great transition defense to avoid the easy bucket right there. A little bit of a conversation between the referees at the moment. They don't signal any change in ruling. So Colorado College is going to retain possession. They'll take the ball in out of bounds from their own baseline. Over the head of Baston, who has Tomlinson in position on the block. She spins before that shot was up on the rim. The whistle was blown, but either way, 5 team fouls against Texas Lutheran. And Zoe Tomlinson is going to step up to the free throw line. 3 minutes remaining here in fourth quarter of semifinal number 2. Tomlinson likely to be shooting quite a few free throws down the stretch. She's been stuck at that 18-point mark for a little while in this second half. That free throw rolls in. She extends her advantage. Game high 19 points. She's added 14 rebounds, make it 20 in 14. She's done so very efficiently, 8 of 10 shooting, just hasn't had the ball in her hands as frequently in this second half. But she extends the lead back out to 7. As Mulkey has it, she'll skip to Sansano. Wants to Sky to catch it, but she brings it down without an issue. Presley across to Mulkey. Mulkey will drive baseline, being pushed and earning the whistle. It was Baston who was trying to stay with her, but Mulkey just a little bit too quick. Put the defender on her hip, and it was all Baston could do to foul Mulkey. Whistle blown very quickly right there. I think the referee telling Baston she has to keep herself and her arms in the playing field. As Presley wide open off the inbound, but she cannot knock down that three-pointer. Sansano will give it a go herself. Her shot is also off the mark. Trying to get going in transition, Bledsoe had open court in front of her. The Bulldogs trying to track back and create another turnover, but in the process, they run right through Bledsoe. Handshake between Bledsoe and Sansano. No intent on that foul right there. Playing the basketball, just happened to run through the body. So Bledsoe will head to the free throw line. She makes the first one count. Now over the last several minutes, Texas Lutheran going cold from the field. Simultaneously sending Colorado College to the free throw line, or they've made 3 of their last 4. That one rimming out for Bledsoe, being one of their only misses in the last several minutes. Sansano catches on the perimeter, thought about the 3. Bledsoe recovered nicely. Presley down the lane, somehow split the defenders, got one up on the rim. She missed it, but efforts for the offensive rebound, I think, going to draw that whistle. So Presley not going to head to the free throw line. That one away from the shot. And still just 3 personal fouls on Colorado College in this last frame. So nothing in the bonus, but Mulkey catches off the inbounds. Denied, however, by Zoe Tomlinson. Some tangled feet right there, but Rose Kohler will come out of it cleanly. And with 2 minutes left in this one, Texas Lutheran down by 8. They'll need to string together some stops starting immediately. Double team on that far wing, and they'll get one. Live ball turnover has Presley streaking in transition. She puts that one up and in. Exactly what they needed. Presley coming away with points off turnovers, and it's back to a 6-point margin. Kohler catches off the inbounds, tries to rip through, and she's going to get called for an offensive foul. Leading with the basketball that time, but went straight through the defender. And a couple of consecutive turnovers, giving life back to Texas Lutheran. 1:42 remaining, plenty of time in a 6-point game. Presley will get it at the top of the key. Over to Sansano, into the corner. Mulkey thought about it. She will take a 3, but she misses it to the right. Crashes the board, but can't get the offensive rebound. Kohler picks up her dribble and finds Baston, who narrowly keeps that one alive. Nelson will catch it, give back to Baston in the corner, who is called for a travel. Did not put the basketball on the ground, took one too many steps. She was trying to gain her balance right there. Quick timeout right here with 1:23 remaining. This one coming from the Texas Lutheran bench. 1:23 remaining, 6-point deficit for the Bulldogs. They want the opportunity to talk things over and make the most of this possession. Just a 30-second break in the action right here. Coach Patterson giving his team some words of encouragement. They'll have to operate quickly. They can afford to be aggressive. Colorado College did pick up their 4th team foul with that last offensive foul. So shots at the rim in the paint, even in heavy congestion, will provide the opportunity for a 5th team foul against Colorado College and a bonus that I'm sure the Bulldogs would love to play in the rest of the way. Gonzano will let that one dribble up the floor. Sotelo will get it back into Lacey in the corner. Sonsano on the perimeter. Sotelo splits the defenders. Now to Lacey. Lacey puts one up, but it's long. Nawara had position on the far side, but couldn't catch it cleanly. Referees converge, not sure what they're going to call. They didn't know themselves, but finally they agree on a jump ball. That favors Texas Lutheran. Possession arrow. Going to keep the ball with him on this end of the floor. They'll go out top to Presley, wide open for 3. That one is good. They needed it and they got it. Colorado College left her wide open at the top of the key. Presley now with 15 points for Texas Lutheran. None of them as big as those 3 right there. Quickly cuts this lead in half, and it is again a 1-possession game. That last one, just TLU's second made 3-pointer of the evening. 2 of 14 from beyond the arc, good for 14%. Texas Lutheran and Colorado College back out on the court. This last 105. Texas Lutheran can now play without having to foul. If they can get a stop, will have the opportunity on their next possession to tie this basketball game up. But Kohler going very quickly. That one poked away. Looked like Presley who got a hand on it. Kohler was in a lot of traffic right there, trying to advance things quickly. Got knocked away out of bounds, but Colorado College going to keep possession. Coach August now taking a timeout. Wants to calm her team down a little bit. Things moving very quickly. As Kohler advanced that one into the front court. She saw a lane and she took it. Wasn't going to slow down anytime soon either. Perhaps benefiting a little bit from the fact that that one got knocked out of play. One of a couple of freshmen that's seen a plenty of action all season long for Colorado College. Rose Kohler earning high praise from Coach August. But the head coach perhaps wanting to slow down her ball handler, ensuring that they take care of possession now that they're under 1 minute. Don't want to give the ball away and give the opportunity to Texas Lutheran to tie this basketball game. It'll be Bledsoe set to get the ball in bounds. A tough spot in that corner, but she's able to do so. Got it to Tomlinson, who sends it out top to Kohler. Checked there by Sansano. Tomlinson's screen gives her a little bit more room to operate with, but now 10 seconds on the shot clock. Kohler tries to go. That one's poked away, and it is the stop that Texas Lutheran was looking for. Mulkey brings it up the court. Presley on the wing. Checked there by Baston, going one-on-one. She's deterred. That baseline cut off, going the opposite direction now. Gets a little bit of a step. She had the hands of Baston on her at the same time, and with that, Colorado College now has 5 team fouls, and Texas Lutheran will be in the bonus for the last 29.9 seconds. So Presley will have 2 attempts at the free throw line. The first is no good. Texas Lutheran needing these to go through desperately. Still have an opportunity as the second is on the way, and she does make that one. Another timeout coming from Colorado College will give them the opportunity to advance the ball into the front court, avoiding any traps near their own basket. 29.9, so just 1/10 short of a shot clock being necessary down the stretch. Texas Lutheran almost certainly going to have to play the foul game as this one comes down to the wire. We'll see if they can get a steal off the inbounds pass, but if not, imagine it'll be a very quick foul as Coach Patterson and his squad try and extend this one for as long as possible. Well, Texas Lutheran left one of those 2 last free throws out at the line. They haven't shot incredibly well at the charity strike today, just 10 of 17. Neither has Colorado College, 9 of 16. So can certainly, on this night, afford to send them to the line. It's Baston who comes out, catches it cleanly. Sansano tried to knock it away, going to have to foul, but they haven't done so yet. Baston catches, a lot of time off the clock. Bledsoe in the corner, she gets that one away cleanly. Baston finally wrapped up by Mulkey. But it was a good 12 seconds off the clock right there as Texas Lutheran was just playing scramble drill. Will be Baston stepping to the free throw line for Colorado College. About a 78% free throw shooter on the season. She's knocked down both of her attempts on the night. She is the only player on either side that has attempted free throws and knocked down both of them. She'll need both here if she wants to extend this back to 4 in a double-digit affair, but she can't get the first, so it'll remain 1 possession no matter what. Going through routine, the second's on its way, and that one's good. And as it goes through, another timeout. Coach Patterson and Texas Lutheran going to talk this over. 17.5 seconds on the scoreboard here in the Gold Dome. Been at it all day long. Game number 4. Not giving us any chance to breathe, coming down to the wire. Texas Lutheran going to try and draw something up. Maybe their last offensive possession of the night right here. 3 ball is needed to tie this game. Teams were on the court briefly. Referees informed them the only timeout left was a full one, so they'll head towards the benches with a chance to sit down, take a bit more of a breather. Everyone on the Texas Lutheran sideline focused in on what Coach Patterson has to say. On the other side, surely Coach August relaying the message to foul or defend without fouling. Three-point opportunities have not come easy for the Bulldogs all night long. Just 2 of 14 from the outside. think at this point you'll live with them getting a look up. Just want to make sure that you're defending cleanly. Mulkey will catch the inbound. Nearly gives back to Sansano, instead puts one up herself. It nearly goes in off the glass. Morig controls that one, batted away. The deflection puts it into the hands of Zoe Tomlinson with 8 seconds remaining. It was quite the look on the opposite wing from Mulkey. Looked like briefly she'd have the opportunity to hand off to Sansano. Instead defers and takes the shot herself. It's off the glass and off the rim on that side of the basket. Tomlinson stepping to the line. She rattles the first one home, so it is now a 4-point advantage for Colorado College. Just 8.2 seconds remaining. Hopes dwindling here for Texas Lutheran. That one up and also good. No timeouts remaining for Coach Patterson. Defending in the backcourt will force Mulkey to pick the ball up, trying in a hurry to get the ball at the court. Steps behind the three-point line, puts that one up. It's long, and the buzzer will sound. Colorado College staves off the comeback. They hang on to win this one 57-52. A valiant effort from Texas Lutheran. But Colorado College looked like a team on a mission tonight. 18-point lead at the half, and they hung on just long enough down the stretch to move on to Championship Sunday. It'll be a matchup of Tigers. One-seeded Trinity will play tomorrow against Colorado College, who has been very impressive all weekend long. And they can thank Zoe Tomlinson, who was big down the stretch. She finishes with 22 points and 15 rebounds, hitting some very important shots at the free throw line. Audrey Baston added 17 as she was inserted into the starting lineup. A very solid move by Coach August on day 2 of this tournament. On the other side, Bulldogs did everything they could. Presley had 16, Mulkey added 9, Emerald St. Laurent in the early going when the Bulldogs were struggling, helped out, knocking down a couple of jump shots, and she finished with 8. But ultimately, Colorado College finishing ahead of Texas Lutheran pretty much every category. Better percentages from the field, from three-point territory, and from the free throw line. That's really the biggest difference down the stretch. A ton of great basketball all Saturday long. We're hoping for much of the same tomorrow. The men's game will be decided first. It'll be the host Centenary Gents taking on the Colorado College Tigers. Colorado College Tigers doubleheader, as the women's, of course, will take on Trinity in the second game on Championship Sunday. Some awards will be handed out here in Shreveport on the women's side of the conference. We'll take our leave after game number 4 has come to its end. My name's Luke Terry. I appreciate everyone who joined us here tonight, and we hope to see you again tomorrow. Thanks and good night.
Next up is first year for Trinity Benitez of Southwestern. Next year's first-year guard Lexi Martin of Austin College. Texas first-year guard Rose Color. Our final member of the 2023-24 all-freshman team is first-year guard Jamie Reedy. Ladies and gentlemen, again, the 2023-24 SCAC women's all-freshman team. We'll now announce the 2023-24 women's basketball all-SCAC team. It's going on the coaches and sports information directors of the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference. When you hear your name called, please make your way out to center court to be recognized. First, starting with the third team all-conference selections from Dallas, sophomore forward Tessa Hastings. From Colorado College, junior guard forward Haley Bledsoe. From Seattle, sophomore forward Ryan Barrow. From Texas Lutheran, junior guard Kayla Presley. And from Austin College, senior forward Lauren Traylor. Next, the all-SCAC second team from Trinity, sophomore guard Kylie Linter. From Southwestern, sophomore guard Anaya Burke. From Schreiner, junior guard Mariah Buttons. From Trinity, first-year guard Jamie Reedy. And also from Trinity, senior guard Ivy Robbins. And now the members of the all-SCAC first team from Texas Lutheran, sophomore guard Lauren Sansano. Also from Texas Lutheran, junior guard Kelly Volkey. From Charlotte, junior guard Mario Miles. And the SCAC Defensive Player of the Year, junior guard forward, Rudy Bledsoe. The SCAC coaching staff of the year is the staff from Texas Lutheran University. Speaker coaches, Jimmy Stewart, Jason Henderson, Mr. Coach, Christopher Fowler, and head coach, Troy Patterson. And the 2023-2024 SCAC Women's Basketball Player of the Year, junior forward center, Zoe Tomlinson. We will next recognize this year's SCAC Elite 19 recipient. At the beginning of the 2018-19 academic year, the SCAC Elite 19 Award was created to recognize the best of the best within each conference-sponsored sport as it relates to both academic and athletic achievement. To be eligible, a student-athlete must have completed the equivalent of at least 60 credit hours of his or her institution and must hold at least a cumulative 3.25 GPA. The student-athlete must also have earned either first, second, or third team All-SCAC honors in his or her sport for that particular season. The winner of the 2023 SCAC Elite 19 Award for women's basketball with a cumulative GPA of 3.937 is first team All-SCAC junior forward center, Zoe Tomlinson. Finishing with a 15-1 conference mark, the 2023-24 regular season women's basketball champion of the Southern Lutheran